that has persisted for decades without repercussion. This case proved that change is long overdue, and we will continue to fight on behalf of survivors. That's the end.
Can I just, Devo, do you really think once the smoke is cleared that Diddy, when it comes to his peers, I'm not talking about any Joe Smo on the street and their opinion. I'm talking about his peers and where he's at in when it comes to his money, right? Do you really think he's going to be in the in-group of his peers? Because at this point, he's not. No, he's not. He's not.
The reason I think so.
Toxic.
The reason I think so is because, for one, let's not act like this ain't America and it don't move off of a dollar bill. That man still is very, 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 very wealthy. And Diddy is going to have, we dealing with black people. This ain't just happened to no white man. This has happened to a black person, where black people do one thing one day, and then they do one thing on Monday, then they switch up on Wednesday, man. Listen, man, I'm just telling you, Diddy still got the heart of some black people. I'm just being real, and he's going to.
Obviously, he has your heart, but
just wanted to mention something.
You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want.
I wasn't talking about. I said peers. I meant his.
You didn't cash in that ticket, because you're talking a lot for somebody that got a pink ticket. Mute up.
Exactly.
The hell?
Hold on, Wednesday. When it comes financially.
So they just mentioned that he may have to register as a sex offender. That's one thing. Due to the charges, due to the Mann Act, he may have to register as a sex offender. That's something he can, his lawyers can fight. I had something else to say, but you guys.
He about to take that picture. He about to take that picture.
Yeah, so let me add to what Mel was saying. So the judge, this is their discussion. The judge says, I asked the media not to question jurors about their deliberations. Jurors, you can contact our chambers. You gave up a lot these 10 weeks. It is inspiring. You work together, rain or shine. You answer the call of public service. That should give us hope. I need to address a few matters with the lawyer, then I will come back to meet with you, jurors. All rise for the jury. Jurors exit for the last time. Judge, I'll hear any application then about a sentencing date. Combs Agnifilio. He should be released. He is no longer charged with sex trafficking or racketeering. His plane has been chartered. It is in Maui. He does not have access to his plane. This is his first conviction, and it is a prostitution offense. He should be released. His family is here and could sign a bond. He should be released today to go back and live at Two-Star Island. Judge, this is just coming up right now. I will hear from the government in a moment. Are you proposing he just walk outside now? Yes. Judge, you are proposing $1 million bond? Yes. And travel to Florida, New York, and LA. Attorney for USA Comey. The U.S. opposes his release. A person found guilty shall be detained until the judicial officer finds he is not likely to flee or be a danger. Comey, the defendant faces a maximum sentence of 20 years. Even while faced with this case, he assaulted Jane. Here in New York, preparing to surrender, he had drugs in his hotel room, was ready to commit this same offense. Judge, I am not going to resolve this second. I need to review the statutes. Ms. Comey, do you have a case in which bail was denied after a conviction under the Mann Act? You may confer and come back. We plan to be here the whole day. Comey, I'm aware of cases involving minors, but we intend to raise relevant conduct as sentencing, the drugs, and violence. Judge says, I'll like letters from each side. When? Comey says a few hours. Judge, I think that makes sense. Mr. Combs does not want to go back to the correction center. He is shaking his head. So, 1 p.m. letters, and we'll convene in the afternoon. I'll let the parties know when. Agnifilio. He would be a fool, which he is not, to violate any condition. Let me see. Okay, so after the judge leaves the courtroom, from the gallery, a loud clapping and cheering as Sean Combs is led back into the holding cell. So that's it. Wanted to read that for y'all.
We're going home, man. It sound like, from what you just read, it sound like they low key.
What do you mean we're going home? You his best friend?
Yeah, that's right. He a black man. That's your problem now. He a black man.
That's not my problem.
You're right.
Definitely not my problem.
You're a woman, man. You would have yelled. You would have yelled in there when Meg got free, didn't you? You yelled in there.
I yelled in where?
When who?
You yelled in that courtroom when Meg Thee Stallion got Tory Lanez sent to jail.
No. I didn't. I didn't even care about it, to be honest with you.
So I guess are you saying that you guys are getting back at us? Because the women that stood by Megan.
Take my words.
No. You just went and told her. You was yelling when Meg was in there. So that's what's going on right now? Is that what's going on right now? That there's 20 rooms open on Clubhouse? Top left are men? Is that the reason?
No, don't try to do this, Mel. All I said was that's a black man.
I told your ass to turn in your pink ticket if you want to continue speaking on my stage.
Listen, Mel, I like it.
Turn in that pink ticket.
You can't bully me to
Okay.
get my ticket.
Okay.
You see how Dr. AG was beefing with me too. Now we friends. You gotta be nice, and I'm gonna cash it in. You can't bully me. Dr. AG, I love you now, girl. I follow you. I love you.
You love me.
I love you, girl. You smart too. You smart. I'm looking at your credentials.
They gonna work, Devo. It's a bad strategy.
No, this ain't a strategy. I'm just giving them their flowers. That's all. I'm just giving them their flowers. I don't want no smoke with educated women.
You accused me of like hollering for Megan Thee Stallion, and I wasn't even following that story. Honestly, I could care less.
I was just using an example of women sticking up for women and men sticking up for men in certain cases. That's all I was trying to do.
So that's what's going on right now. Interesting.
Let's be real though. With this particular case, most women are going to be more emotional about it than men would. If we being real.
I've been analytical and my emotions are involved. And in every room that I've been in on Clubhouse, the men have been both analytical and emotional.
You're right, both can. You're right, both parties can.
And I've encountered a lot of women with internalized misogyny, so they often agree with the men as well. So, but however, I've also encountered a good number. This has been pleasant for me. A good number of black men who could see right through this bullshit and see right through Diddy, and were very clear, about the case, the charges, and Diddy as a person. And I think so. My thing is, like, I can accept this verdict, like, it is what it is. But just to be like, because he's a black man, that's disturbing, and that should be disturbing to you too.
What? Wait, you saying because I said because he's a black man that I shouldn't say that?
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't give him sympathy because he's a black man?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just more so on the side of you're not guilty until you prove guilty. So yes, there was a lot of things that came out about Diddy, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of this shit was we don't know really what's the truth and what's not, because based off of statements that were recanted, based off of statements from individuals who were witnesses and stuff like that. Based off of their answers that they gave, some of those people still in the same breath said that they loved this man, that they appreciated this man, that this man changed their lives and all type of stuff. So I didn't hear everybody go up there and say, he's a monster. I'm scared for my life. I don't trust him. I think he gonna kill me.
Actually, a lot of people said that.
Who said it?
Literally, Capricorn said it. Hold on. Capricorn said it. Mia said it. Cassie said it. I'm not gonna say Jane said it. The brother. Let me see. The one guy. He was the personal assistant. They said, "Well, how do you feel about Diddy now?" He was like, "It's complicated." He was like, "I really can't say because because it is good to be in an elite position and like be high up in the industry and to be able to see like a billionaire in motion, you know, while you're working, like that is amazing, right? And to be flued out, even the men, right? To be, I'm not talking about the prostitutes, I'm talking about literally like the assistants, to be flown around everywhere. That's romantic. You don't, you know, people have been on Diddy's private jet. These are elite experiences. This is true. So you are gonna have mixed feelings, but at the end of the day, you said
that's why I disagree with you, man. That's why I disagree with you because
well, no,
I feel like
I wasn't. But with Devo, I was talking about the people that actually testified, and they had mixed feelings. And you said that nobody said they feared for their life or that they were upset with Diddy, that they were mad.
Mixed feelings. So that's why I said recanted on a lot of statements because it's
they
like
didn't recant on their statements. They didn't recant on their statements though.
Man, Cassie said she loved that man. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is if you put it into simple terms, right? Let's say you tell this is your daughter you talking to. This is your daughter.
Cassie did not say that she still loves him on this thing.
No, well, I'm just asking you a question though. If you went to if Cassie was your daughter and you was the mother and you knew that your daughter was going through this shit and did drugs and all other stuff, would you accept any type of money from a man that is bringing harm to your daughter as a parent? Would you accept any type of money?
Well, the answer would be yes. Because, no. The answer would be fuck yeah. Fuck
what?
Not yes. Yes, because first of all, you derailed you literally derailed my fucking daughter's entire dreams. Cassie did not get with you because she wanted to be your weekly fucking freak off. She got with you over her feelings and because she was an aspiring musician and model. You did not make any of those fucking dreams come true. And then you were beating her and you turned her into a sex worker. So not only does Cassie deserve 20 million, she deserves much more from Diddy. And that's why God, right, who has the final answer, has blessed her with a good man and 3 children because there is redemption. So if there's redemption for Diddy, there's certainly redemption for my daughter, and I would be thanking God, and I would file another fucking civil suit because he owes her more than
now ma'am, that's why I say we just gonna have 2 different opinions. We can agree to disagree because when it comes to my children, and when it comes to my children and my morals and my respect of what I believe as a person, ain't no amount of money somebody can give me to make me shut up and look the other way. Ain't no amount of money that can make me.
That. Wait. You didn't wait, Devo. Hold the fuck up.
I said she accepted money.
No,
I said
you did
you
not
accept money from a man that's hurt your daughter.
Y'all are yelling over each other. What's going on?
Sorry about that, Patty. Devo, nobody said to shut up and look the other way. Now you just made that
That's
clear.
what you did.
That is not what you
He
said.
sent his mama in them 20K and she accepted.
And she did not turn her.
The mama accepted the money.
What the hell is he talking about? The mother gave him 20,000.
All right, man. All right, let me go look up some more facts and then
Go look up more facts because you're being an asshole right now.
That's what I was getting ready to say. The
You ain't put no facts, Devo.
I'm gonna put up some more facts because I read the other ones and y'all ain't answer none of my questions to the other facts I read.
Once again,
We did answer.
they
Come back when you
he called the mother, asking the mother for 20,000, so they don't go and air her video, Cassie's video out.
to the world and especially to the people in their company.
And she took the 20,000 from her home.
Yeah.
And that was on a bank statement. What are we talking about right now, Devo? Stop.
The 20,000 was actually money that Cassie had to pay him back, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And
that he pretended that she had to pay him back. And I thought Devo was talking about the $20 million loss.
No, that $20 million lawsuit, that just proves that Diddy was guilty. Like, he did something. Ain't no nigga giving a girl $5 if he ain't do nothing. He gave her $30 million the day after.
He gave her 20 million.
20 million, whatever.
20.
Devo, mute up. Go find.
No, he lucky I can't. My button to goo him is not working.
Man, goo me in,
Whenever y'all ready to
motherfucker.
throw him down,
Goo
let me
me.
know.
You don't know your info either.
Why are you crashing out?
Cause Mel getting on my nerves. She don't know no goddamn information either. She ain't came
You
up
getting on my nerves.
goddamn fact.
Cut it out, cut it out. I'm sorry. I'm just, yeah, my mute button is working. My mute button is working. Sorry, I'm just getting off, I'm just leaving the office right now. I know I missed a lot, but what's going on with the Diddy child? He's guilty of something, and the prostitution?
Transportation.
Only?
He's guilty on the 2 transportations of Jane and Cassie.
Okay.
And the other not guilty. The
How
other 3 not
much
guilty.
is the time for that?
Why y'all don't go read before y'all come in here?
They mentioning that is a minimum of 2, a maximum of 10.
No.
Can you guys throw him down, please?
I can't. I can only remove him from the room and yeah.
Listen, stop. The hand raising was off. That's why he couldn't be dropped.
I knew it was something. I was like,
Okay, so he's guilty of those 2. Are they still deliberating, or they said not guilty
they're on
for the other
break.
ones?
So he's not guilty of anything else except transportation for the purposes of prostitution for Cassie and Jane.
And what's the
They
sentence
are-
for that, or like is there a minimum for that?
They're on break. So they're on break, and what they're trying to determine is, one, if Diddy can go home immediately because he doesn't want to go back to the Department of Corrections, and to discuss like precedent. So he's allowing the prosecution. So the judge is allowing the prosecution to come up with whatever cases they want to present to him around precedent, because their argument is that he should not be allowed to go home because of all the other things that have come out in the trial about the violence, the witness tampering and stuff like that. And also they say that he could receive a maximum of 20 years. So just because he wasn't found guilty of RICO doesn't mean that he's not a flight risk. And his lawyer was saying, his chartered plane is, in Maui. It's not, it's not anywhere accessible to him, and that he should be allowed to go back to his 2-star island home in Miami, and that he should be allowed to fly to Florida, Los Angeles, and New York. So the judge, they're on a 3-hour break. That's what we
Yeah, they'll be back at 1 o'clock.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, Diva's crazy as hell.
Yeah.
Devo sounds anti-woman.
Oh, for sure. I mean, for sure. And you're still calling women girls. Like, come on, Devo. Like, come on.
Well, just to be clear, the 20,000, it was Cassie's mom paid to Diddy, and he did return the money back, but she had to take a home loan out to get the 20,000 cash that he asked her for. Otherwise, he was gonna release a sex tape video of her. So Cassie's mom never took, as far as we're aware of, never took any money. So
No, I misinterpreted what he was saying. I thought that he was talking about the $20 million settlement. He wrongly thought that the mother took money from Diddy. He didn't have his facts straight. So you're correct in your in your assessment. But it just shows how diabolical Diddy is, right? Because to do that to Cassie after all this shit that you've been done, all the shit that you've done to Cassie, to then tell her, well, tell your mother and father, because remember Cassie never said anything to her parents. They were in the dark for a long time. And she was embarrassed. And when it finally came out, I think, was it I don't know, I forget what it was that was the final straw for her, where she actually told her parents what was going on.
When she showed up over there with the bruises.
Okay, yeah. And so they were just like, what in the world? So, they wanted her to get out. And then Diddy's like, after all I've invested in you, if you want to get out, tell them they need to pay $20,000, which is so, or I'm gonna release these tapes to them and all of their coworkers. You don't miss that detail. And then, remember Jake, he was just like, well, give me a number, Jake, because I don't want you to feel this way. You know, I want, you know, I just want peace. I don't want you to feel this way. And this is after the Cassie civil lawsuit that he settled. So Jane thought about it, and she was just like, all right, well, you know, I think like 400,000, like it was like 400, 450, something like that. You know, should be fine. And he was just like, you lying bitch. You know, he cussed her out. He's like, he was like, you're a con artist. And it's just like, you paid this woman $50,000 over each year for 3 years. You literally paid the sex work. You paid the men more than you paid Jane Daphne.
I was gonna say for the men, there was a bunch of people that did bets on stage, right? They should have been more detailed with their bet. So these men, and there was a woman too, because Gemini, he bet a woman and a man. They just went and said, he's going to be found not guilty for everything. They should have never done that, because now they're not going to win anything. Right. If they would have just said, he's going to be found not guilty for the RICO, then they would have won. But when you said that they were going to, Sweet and Anthony, this lady, Big E, I think, no, her name is just E.
Erie's ass.
No, not Erie. This girl is E. She be in the wood. So she bet $100 with Gemini. Gemini hasn't got on the app. Somebody else bet him $100. So he's gonna win 200 because once again they weren't detailed with the bet. And they just said that he was gonna be not guilty for everything.
So what am I doing? I'm just curious.
They can see you.
Oh yeah, we can see you.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, Devo, we already know. So if you know, Cassie became a drug addict. She became a sex addict. Her self-esteem got lower. That's why she needed therapy. Okay, like these dudes, you know, just the way that they victim blame is.
All these men that speak like this, they all should have a daughter. They should give, you know what, God, give them a few daughters.
Because they bring up, they like, Cassie, she wanted freak offs on her own. Yeah, because by that time she was already a very deep drug addict and a sex addict. But they never bring up this. After she left Diddy, she never had another freak off in her fucking life. So, run tell that. But y'all always want to say that she called somebody to have sex independent of Diddy. Meanwhile, Diddy's still taking Cialis. Like, make it make sense.
He's taking Cialis.
I mean, he was. He was.
He was?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I swear.
Where was that at? What page was that at?
What?
No, I didn't hear that.
I pay attention to details that a lot of y'all don't. So
No wonder that's why he was.
She got the bonus notes.
No wonder he was calling men to hit off his women.
You had the prosecution notes, Dr. Goddess? Is that what you had?
no, it's just that every day, like, cause my only discussion, like, look, I come on Clubhouse to like talk about this stuff, but I would go through the transcripts. I would read a couple articles. I would go to one of my favorite bloggers. She did summaries, but I often do more than one of her summaries. And a lot of stuff comes out. So when you read the Inner City Press and Megan Copeland. So when you read the transcripts will tell you everything. Like Daphne, even though she didn't really get a lot out of the relationship per se, she's the one that kind of like puts, she's the one that low-key introduced the concept that Diddy might be gay in her testimony. And I believe that the Cialis came from her. I'll find it, but yeah, I mean, I'm not making it up. I'm just a nerd who pays attention to detail. And my brother's an audience.
So that's why he went and got a few men to hit her off, because he couldn't stand up that long to hit her off. I get it.
I think this is what we talked about yesterday, that they know he did it. They just wanted to give him the lightest sentence they could. They just don't think he should go away for that long because some of the people engaged this, and I think that's all that was. The jury was there. It was like,
yeah, I didn't think he should.
But we ain't sending him away for 30 years. So let's just say the two lightest ones.
Did you think that he should be there for a life sentence? Huh?
I think that he was guilty of all 5 things, and whatever the sentencing is, sentencing is. I don't think the jury should get in the business of basically adjusting her verdict based on how much jail time there will be. Either you're guilty, you're not guilty of the 5 things.
Now, the jury, like, I know that the judge said, don't press them. But the jury, they're going to come out, they're allowed to talk about the trial, right? They're going to come out later on and maybe, have interviews on different shows and stuff like that.
Sure, I would.
Because, listen, if I was on this jury, I would be like, oh, I'm coming out with a book. But I like this. This woman, Bernice, she was like, guys, the jury is always correct. They saw every piece of relevant evidence in the Sean Combs trial, and they made a decision. Accepted and thanked them for their service. Diddy had a partial verdict of 2 guilty convictions. He is at home free, not even close, but the likelihood of him sleeping in his own bed tonight is higher than it was yesterday. He went from a 3% odds of walking away with freedom to a more than 50% chance sleeping in his own bed tonight after being convicted of 2 federal crimes. He certainly got his money's worth from his defense team. If he were broke, he would have no chance. It's sickening, but resources count when fighting the law. I don't think $1 million for bond will do it though. It could be the $50 million with home confinement in Florida, New York, and LA. That was the original offer in the beginning. Oh, it sure was. It's not a total win for anyone. One thing is for sure, she says, the jury is always correct. And then God bless America. I ain't gonna go that far, but
I'm glad he's gonna get some punishment.
It's a lot. So I talked about the court case, so we don't have to go into that.
What court
Is there
case?
anything else going?
What court case are you talking about?
The Diddy one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I didn't want to invoke anything. Yeah, that's what's going on. Have y'all seen the images that were released? Who is this by? It had to be some astrological organization. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I thought I could have access to it. So people.
This instrument is called the tutuk. It is a wind instrument that is primarily associated with Armenia, but there are also variants of this instrument called the balaban in Azerbaijan, in Turkey, and other countries in that region. The tutuk is made of apricot wood and is made of 2 pieces. So this actual flute part and then a reed, a double reed that you play through.
So there were
it's a
some
very
images that
distinct
were
sound.
recently
Watched,
released
like movies that take place in the desert or Middle East.
from the pictures taken of the universe from the world's largest camera that was built in the Bay Area. And if you haven't already looked at some of the images, they're really quite amazing. I just posted a link.
Supernova.
Yeah, what about the? Tell me more about the link.
So it's the world's hold on, I gotta find it. Let me go back to I was trying to find another
I had to come up because this is like one of my favorite things to talk about.
okay, yeah, please, yeah.
I'm sorry, you're talking about the Rubin Observatory, right? The woman who's responsible for for our initial sort of discovery of the significance of dark matter. Yes. And we have all these amazing images. Yeah, we have all of these amazing images from the Virgo cluster, which is like this it's in the Virgo constellation, but it's this enormous amount of galaxies that we haven't had an opportunity to get clear images of, and it's gonna just increase our understanding of dark energy and map the Milky Way. It's amazing. Like the picture in my PTR is actually one of the images of the Butterfly Nebula. We have, I think there's like over 700 new images of nebulae that we got from this observatory. It's a really groundbreaking move in understanding the universe and adding to how expansive the universe actually is compared to what we thought we knew about that. So it's really amazing. So if you can get to the pictures, I think the New York Times did a thing where they printed some of the images. Excuse me. If you can look at it, it's really fascinating.
Yeah, there was one.
Oh, let me just say this. Yeah, so John Kitover is streaming the room on YouTube, as he always does. John, there's several problems with what you're doing. The main problem is that you're doing this without our consent. No one has said that it's okay for you to stream. the room. I certainly haven't, and there are folks on stage who are participating in the conversation who haven't consented either. There are folks in the audience who did not expect to come into the room and have their presence shown on YouTube. So I'm asking you kindly. Yeah, so I'm asking you kindly to stop streaming the room. Thanks.
I definitely don't think.
Go ahead. What were you going to say, brother?
I was gonna say it may be the same picture, but was there one that had like multiple galaxies in the same image? I don't know. I have to look at it. I don't know if this.
So the image of the Virgo cluster shows like there's several images in the stuff they release, but one of them shows like the multiple galaxies, the most prominent ones in the Virgo cluster. Yeah.
It was just amazing that it was all in one image, and the colors. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. It was something that I wouldn't, myself. I couldn't imagine. It was just amazing. They said the camera is like 6,000 pounds. Like this immense beast.
It's something like, and the precision of the camera is something like 200 or 300 high def television. Like it's like, I mean, it is amazing. And some of these things are like, I mean, I'm trying to remember. They're like 8 billion light years away, and have as many as like 80 billion stars in them. I mean, it's just the expansiveness of the universe. It's amazing. And when we think of our little human selves in that space, I just think it gives a perspective on our value and our responsibility, but also how small we are in the larger scheme of things. We take this as so seriously. But yeah.
I agree. It's hold on. Okay, so this is not behind the paywall. I'm going to post this. This is it looks like an article about the actual camera. And we get to see some really awesome pictures of the camera itself. The camera in the observatory. So I just posted that in the chat. When I'm looking at these, this shouldn't be behind the paywall. But it just gives you a sense of sort of what it takes to cover these amazing images.
Scientific American, I don't know if they're behind the paywall, but they did a cool story on it, and they have a download of some of the images too.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna look. I gotta look, because this is it's so amazing.
So I have a question. Who are the people watching the Kitover stream? It says there are 2 people watching now.
Not 2.
That'll be.
There were 4, and now there are 2.
Otis, I just left the stream.
Oh, you just left?
No, so Rob was one of 4.
Yeah, hey, and look, if he's still streaming this, can I say this? I got to say this, man. Fuck Norm and his whole crew. All them Zionist racists that you down with, man. And if you down with Norm and his crew, fuck.
Come on, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
Go.
Not a Tupac remix.
Rob, listen. You're being streamed, and you don't want to say anything that can be misconstrued. misconstrued.
Hey, stream raw galette music, man. You can look me up. I don't give a fuck. I ain't hiding myself. I don't got no respect for Norm. I don't got no respect for somebody who spews racist talk like he does and has an NAACP award. That's a mess. We shouldn't even be entertaining no clown like Norm. Ain't nothing progressive about that.
Ron, listen. The room's been the way that it's been, and I want to keep it that way. So
It's all good. I only came to crash out because I found out we was getting streamed by that weird dude. So I wanted them to hear this shit.
Yeah, but I don't want to crash. So.
Good. My apologies, brother Otis.
No, it's fine.
This is interesting. So John is running for election. He's campaigning, huh?
Can we go back to the nebula?
In his picture, he has a school.
Respectfully, y'all could open rooms publicly and say and have things in the title, and he can, people that you want to, get the attention of, they can go in those rooms. We were having we were actually literally having a conversation about something else. And I would like to return to that and at least let that conversation die. And then if y'all want to crash out on Norm, like people do every single day on this app, then you can, if Hurricane Will said, then let that happen. Otherwise, create a room with the title that gets Norm in the room, and then y'all can have that conversation.
Oh, I wasn't talking about Norm, but okay, you guys go.
Norm, John, or whoever. Dr. AG, you want to?
Oh no, I was just saying if we could just get back to talking about the nebula and the dark mysteries of the universe, that would be good. Yeah.
Dr. Steve, what do you think about what you read about the revision, the possible revision of the standard model?
Say one more time.
I said, have you read about the possible revision of the standard model that we have?
The standard model of
Like how currently we believe that the universe is completely
yeah. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing because I'm in the hair salon. So you talk